this guy is basically an evil version of Fantastic Four's Human Torch. Hey guys, today I'll give you the comic book origins of Molten Man. Molten Man was actually created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, much like Spider-Man was. And in fact, he was actually one of Spider-Man's first villains, since he was made roughly around the same time Spider-Man was, making him one of the oldest but lesser known foes. But his real name is Mark Raxton, and he was working in a laboratory with Alexander Smythe. Now, for any 90s kids, that name Smythe might sound familiar if you watched the Spider-Man animated series back in the 90s. I mean, I watched some of it and I loved it, but anyway, Raxton and Smythe were working on an experiment in order to create a sort of new molten liquid metal. But Raxton got greedy and wanted to take the vat for himself. But he basically says that he wanted to take the credit for himself for creating this new molten metal. But when the two of them ended up in a fight, Smythe tripped up Raxton, and Raxton said, "When you wake up, you could make more. Say goodbye to the rest of this batch." But the vat causes Raxton to get thrown off balance, and it crashes against the wall, and it covers his entire body, turning him yellow, making him look like he's from The Simpsons. But Raxton then went off to try and find a doctor or get to a hospital. When he was crossing the street, he managed to discover that he didn't feel any pain, but found out that his fingers were still flexible, and it felt like the metal was seeping into his bones. But when a car honked the horn at him, he became enraged and actually punched the hood of the car with his bare fist, saying that the metal had given him some form of super strength. With this, he continued to then flip over the car. He then said that he was some sort of Molten Man, and that no one would stand in his way ever again, saying that he could take wherever he wanted, whenever he wanted, and that people should run when he is around. So basically, the Molten Man was born at that point, and he became quite powerful, in fact, especially going up against Spider-Man, who even had his fair share of problems and troubles going up against him. But only that, but his abilities, well, obviously, they include a sort of fire manipulation, and he's even been seen burning to heats of over 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Fire manipulation, fire bursts, that's why I like to call his ability to shoot fire. It does a lot better than fire shoot. But he also has teamed up with Spider-Man at one point in order to defeat several other Spider-Man foes, such as Vulture and Carnage and so on. But in other words, he's let's just hope that he's going to be adapted well in the MCU in next month's Spider-Man Far From Home, which I'm actually fairly excited for. But that's about it for Molten Man, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment what you think down below. And I'll be back tomorrow to give you more origin stories. See you guys.